And welcome back to AZW Action with Pewdiepie taking on VoiVox. This is Velocity Lightweight Division Action. And of course, Pewdiepie is the one in the white and black, and VoiVox is the one in the green and red striped wrestling. Onelet, is that right? The wrestling thing of a bobber that he's wearing. Singlet, that's the damn word, singlet. Alright, and he's tossing Pewds out of the ring. Doing a little bit of taunting there, a bit of a graphical glitch. Just taunting Pewds, not in any rush to get back in the ring there for a second. Or three. Ooh, big backdrop. Just took Pewds right down there. Pewds gets a hold of him. Shoots him into the ropes. Takes him down with a pretty wild flying. I'm not sure where he actually connected with it. I think he might have faked him out on a chop and hit him with a bit of a flying clothesline there. Couldn't quite tell where he connected. Wild flying move there. Dropkick connects. Manages to get around as the VoiVox goes for the kick. And pile driver. Taking VoiVox down. Nails him. And these two have not faced each other before. VoiVox was out for a while, unable to compete. He's come back to join back into the lightweight division. Occasional tag team partner of Funky. Ooh. Spin kick caught, and then he goes for a bit of a spin. Thanks to Pewds, who hits that dragon leg whip. Not the kind of spinning that, with those legs, VoiVox wants to happen. That's how he actually went out. He injured his leg. Pewds, well aware of this. Probably more than happy to take advantage of any lingering damage or weakness in the limbs. Well, it was his left leg. I believe that was his right leg that he just whipped, so probably not going to be able to do much anything. At least not yet. He damaged his knee coming down on a high-flying move. Was out for quite some time. Nasty place to have an injury. And there's a big kick. Especially when a huge amount of your offense is in the legs, as is true of VoiVox with his martial arts striking training. Looks like Pewds may have scouted VoiVox a bit here. He seems to be pretty well prepared for some of those kicks. There's a running leg drop, a little bit impact there. Oh, and there he goes, catching him again off of that spin kick and then taking him down with a whip. That needs to be careful of that. Oh, caught him again. Oh, this time takes the enziguri upside the head. There's the fringe on the outside, and you see Nori Daze on the other side of the ring, and a jumping kick to the back of the head, taking Pewds down. VoiVox firing back now, gets dragged over with an arm drag. Bit of a splash headbutt there. Going for that kick again, but takes a drop kick instead. Gets a hold of him. Pewds spins him around. And laying into the shoulder with those shoulder blocks. A little bit of damage to the arm there. Flips him over. See what he's looking to do here. Just going to lay in some punches. And VoiVox able to scoot over and get to the rope. Pewds drives him back. Goes for that drop kick again. But VoiVox catches him, drives him down. Going up. Does not connect with the drop kick. Pewds manages to push him out of the way. Hits the pile driver. Going out. Oh, goes for a slingshot drop kick, but VoiVox rolls over. Looks like he was going for another pile driver. VoiVox blocks it. And tells him what to do about it. A little bit of taunting there. Pewds just standing back and watching him. And just lunges in with that clothesline, knocks him back into the ropes, and then puts him right out. Oh! Goes flying, but VoiVox not really there to, to eat absorb any of that impact. Pewds just belly flopped right onto the floor. Ouch. Catch of the foot. This time he takes him down with a sidewalk slam. That's on the outside. He might have caught the guardrail there with the side of his head a little bit. Pewdiepie obviously not afraid to get a little rough. But takes that spin kick that time. Drives him back. Ooh, and another. This time a falling spin kick. Just dropped him right down. Hits the elbow to the inner leg and headbutt to the groin. Pewds gets up, catches. Trying for a suplex. VoiVox floats over. But gets driven back with a punch. Then gets caught with a punch from VoiVox, who is informing Pewds and apparently everyone else what to do. Up and over, spin around Hurricanrana. 1, 2, 2 count. Little frustration there. VoiVox. Pewds trying to catch hold of him, driving him back with some strikes. Lunges in with a clothesline. VoiVox able to steal himself. Shooting back with some strikes of his own. Pewdiepie answers, knocks him down. Pewdiepie gets a hold of him. Side Russian leg sweep. Whip walks up, catches. Irish whip. Oh. Tried to drop down out of the way. Pewds goes flying over him. Not sure who was countering what there. Either VoiVox countered the counter or Pewdiepie went flying over him in order to avoid running over him. I don't know who countered what at that point. There's a 2 count there. Pewds steals himself for the kick. VoiVox going for a pile driver of his own and hits it. Pewds holding his head now. I'm not sure what VoiVox was trying to do there. Maybe trying to shoot in for a bit of a moonsault or something off the ropes, but didn't get enough momentum to jump up, throwing him to the outside to do a little taunting.
3.
And, oh, you rascal, you. Just trying to fake us all out there. VoiVox has a hold of him. Reversal on the whip, and inverted atomic drop. Pewds going up, and it's kind of a screwy frog splash there, but only gets a 2 count. Gets caught, punch, but connects with a lunging clothesline once again, knocks VoiVox to the outside. Neither one able to grab a hold of the other. Pewds going out, VoiVox coming in. Pewds manages to nail him with another strike. Hits him into the ropes again, catches him, arm drags him over. And Pewds running towards the ropes, not doing anything about it. Not sure what he was attempting to do there. Another jump spin kick there to the back of the head. VoiVox trying to answer, trying to get something going here, but Pewds seems to have his measure in this match. As I said, this is VoiVox coming back from the injury. Maybe a bit of ring rust there. Oh, and as we affectionately know it here at AZW, the 69 variation of the frog splash. Not sure what the point of doing it that way is, but every now and again somebody hits that move. Oh, and here is Pewds' finisher. And let me check my notes right quick because I have a horrible memory for all of these damn move names that they all love to use. And if I look away and he gets the damn 3 count, of course, there's the 1, 2, 3. Pewdiepie. Pewdiepie. That's the Pewdiepie. Powerbomb throwing out into a facebuster. Which I have to say to that, ouch. Alrighty then, folks, so while we're looking at some replay action here on that finish, Pewdiepie. Boom, ouch. Really, you can see him lay the head right down there into the mat, just face first, no protection. So as I said in the last video, I was going to go over Jugular January, our next big show, coming up Saturday. That is the final round of the Stalwart Division tournament, which will be Roughhouse Jolly taking on Wiz, Angry Video Game Nerd taking on Bootsy, Boomstick taking on Nostalgia Critic, Wraith taking on Paul. Then we'll have Renee taking on Hout, who won her number 1 contender shot match against DeVary for the first women's title defense of NAZW for that AZW women's title, the open weight women's title. Benny Hanna will be taking on Larry for the stalwart title. Triple X, after having that arm injury, minor arm injury, is just dislocated, will be getting a rematch against Acid Heads for the middleweight title. Cabal will be taking on Jackie Fish for the heavyweight title. Jackie Fish, a newcomer, another Total War Total War gamer YouTuber brought into AZW just because I could. I enjoy watching his videos, and if you enjoy war game videos, you should check him out too. And we like to give our newbies here in AZW a bit of a trial by fire, so we're letting him have a title shot, and you never know. We've had newer guys come in and win the champs before, motherfucker Mike being a perfect example. He will not be having a title defense on the show, but the last match on the card, he'll be having a match a little bit later on in the week, or the next week, I should say. But the final match on the card is Over Center and Alfred Adams continuing their feud. We'll be having a Philly rules match, which basically means no rules at all. So that is Jugular January. And we'll see you there. That is this Saturday. Do not miss it. So go ahead and give that like button a pile driver for me. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when we're putting up new videos. And leave your comments and suggestions. Constructive criticism always welcome. If you have any wrestler suggestions, barring entrance from that company, and we all know who that company is, Japanese wrestlers, indie wrestlers, perfectly welcome for you to suggest. Just because you suggest it doesn't necessarily mean I will include them. It depends on if I even know who they are or not. But of course, I'm always open to finding out about the good indie wrestling and Japanese wrestling and even some of the Mexican wrestling. So, and it also depends, stepping outside of the AZW game, eFed world, it depends on if I can make them. The game I use to produce this program for you has a limited number of moves available. It has a really good selection. I'm not trying to shit over, or criticize the game for its selection of moves. It's actually really good for an old game to have that many animations in it. But if you have a wrestler you would like me to include and their move is something that is, there's just no way for me to reproduce it in the game, then it wouldn't really be doing them justice to include it. Include them, I should say. Because then I'd have to take away their move. Some of them, like Nakamura, I could give him that combo that kind of looks like he's doing a Bomaye, which is a knee to the head. And there's a few that I can kind of skim by with something that looks somewhat similar. But for the most part, if I cannot at least give them one of their big finishers or signature moves, something that looks more or less like a move that they do use and can reproduce them in the game, then I don't want to do it, because then I'm not doing them service. I hope you understand. But again, suggestions are accepted. If I feel like putting them in, if I can, and as I have already explained. So that covers all that stuff. Creative or constructive criticism is always welcome. There's some things that I am thinking about doing, haven't quite figured out how to do it yet, like doing interviews and stuff. One of the things I've been wondering about is how long of a match do you guys like to watch? The few of you that so far have been following these matches, do you care if they're longer or shorter? Do you want me to just let them ride out like I have been, and if whatever length they end up being, that's what they end up being? Do you want me to try to make the matches longer on a regular basis? Do you prefer them to be a bit shorter? My personal preference is to just kind of let them go and see how things end up and aim for around 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes or even longer if possible. But let me know. Again, I can't guarantee that I'll act on your suggestions, but I would like some input there. And I think that covers everything. Ended up making this video quite a bit longer than it necessarily needed to be, but this was some stuff that was on my mind and I wanted to talk about a little bit here. So one last time, don't forget about Jugular January. That's coming up. We have, of course, at this point I am doing my best to make sure I'll be getting up at least 2 matches every day Not going to promise I will, because that's impossible to guarantee, but I'm going to be doing my best. I've been doing some reorganization and scheduling, and I'm going to be reshuffling some of the divisions, the roster of some of the division, shuffling around who is in what division within the roster. Not a whole lot of changes, but some. So that, like some of the guys in the Stalwart Division tournament in particular don't really feel like they belong there, because I started doing that pretty much as soon as I started doing the AZW thing. So there's going to be some shuffling around of divisional the wrestlers in each of the divisions to try and fit them into the areas that they should be, since each division is supposed to have its own characteristics and style. I want to make sure that the wrestlers within the division fit there. And as I said, I'm going to be trying much harder to stick to the schedule now that I've really started working on making a schedule properly. So I think that really does cover everything. So thanks for listening through all this if you did. So once again, don't forget to hit the like button, leave your comments, share the video, subscribe so you know when I put up more stuff. Thanks very much for watching. All views are appreciated, all audience members appreciated. And like I said, leave a comment. Let me know that you're watching and what you've enjoyed, maybe what you haven't enjoyed. Just let me know, and I'll do my best to get back to everyone who leaves a comment. So one last time, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.